Alright, first full review on here is Wheelie. Yay! Now, I know I set it up to be the Constructicons, specifically Long Haul, Hook, and Mixmaster. I'm not going to do one for Bone Crusher because I've had him for a while. But Wheelie just came in, and I kind of want to keep the joke of, since he's my least favorite character in all Transformers, he's going to be the first review, so we're going to go with that. Now look, this is not a bad figure, and Wheelie is not a bad character, except maybe in Dark of the Moon and Revenge of the Fallen. But 80s Wheelie is not a bad character. He just really annoys me so much, and that's why I don't like him. But that's the only reason why. Other than that, I don't actually have a problem with him. I just like to exaggerate it for fun. Anyway, with the rant out of the way, not a rant, but the complaining out of the way, I love the vehicle mode, and I love transforming this guy. He is so much fun. I really miss Core Class. I forgot how much Core Class was really fun. Like, it was so much fun. I have Geocron and Bomb Burst as well, along with this guy. They're my only 3 Core Class figures. And they're so much fun. I think this one might be my favorite though, because he's the only one that actually transforms without some form of parts forming, I guess. It's so much fun. Now for accessories, he has his little slingshot. It's not bad. It's just a slingshot. I kind of wish it had a string or something in it to or the little ball that he shoots at Grimlock's nose in the movie, but Core Class, you're not going to get that kind of budget. But for what it is, it works. He can hold it well. I'll put it in his hand in robot mode. Here it is with a slingshot that came with a Carrie Kelly Robin from McFarlane Toys. And even just this sort of thing, I would have preferred for, what's it called, Wheelie. Just with the string attached so that he could pull on, you know? And then here it is with the one that came with the Wheelie that came with 86 Grimlock. That literally just looks like a piece of plastic that you took off of a model kit. I never noticed how plain and bad it looked until now. This one's so much better. As for vehicle mode, I don't care about the hands sticking off the back. I know a lot of people have a problem with that. It's whatever, it's a Core Class figure, could be worse. The details are nice. It does not have that Siege Techno detail because it's 86, but some of the early 86 figures had that. I'd say it's pretty good on here, except maybe the part on the back right there, but that's not very noticeable. So for the most part, I think the vehicle mode's good. I really like the shade of blue that they picked on here. What would you call Wheelie's alt mode? I always called it an alien go-kart or a Cybertronian go-kart. I guess that makes sense. I don't know, but I like the shade of blue a lot. I think it really works. Anyway, on to robot mode. And here is the robot mode. I like it a lot. I think it looks like Wheelie. The proportions are pretty blocky, but I can excuse that because most 86 figures are blocky, but he's not as streamlined as I remember in the show if you put him next to his animation model. Will I remember to put a picture of his animation model? We will find out. But I will say, I like it a lot better than this thing. This thing, I don't care for. I know I just said I want him more streamlined, but they kept the blockiness with the streamlinedness, which doesn't work. And I don't like the colors. These colors are more what I imagine when I think of Wheelie. When you put these two together, I don't care for that one. I like this one. He goes with my Yellow Park figures, but this is main Wheelie. I never thought I would have the need for a main Wheelie, but here we are. Posability is decent. My only real problem is the lack of a waist swivel and the lack of ankle joints, but again, Core Class. Probably wasn't going to get that either way. Ankle joints I feel like would have been better though. I think both of my other Core Class figures have ankle joints. The waist swivel I understand, but he can pull off most poses that you would want. I actually think he pulls off this pose better than the one that was made to be in this pose. Sorry, I'm going to keep hating on this one. I'll be a little nice to it right now though, because one thing I will give this guy over this guy is the head sculpt. I like the head sculpt on this one a lot more. It's more my idea of Wheelie. This one's good, and it fits the overall body, if my camera would focus, but I think this one's better. Either way, though, I actually think this one can do this one's pose better. Alright, enough with the comparing. I know a lot of people have problems with the butt flap. I don't really care because I know that it was... oh my goodness. I don't really care because I know it was needed for the transformation. So, oh my gosh. I'm not even going to cut any of that out. But I know it was needed for the transformation. So that's why it doesn't really bug me. Here he is next to his fellow slingshot shooter. Try saying that 5 times fast. But Carrie Kelly Robin from DC Multiverse, McFarlane Toys. Here he is next to my last 3 purchases that I got literally the day before him. They stole his mini review unboxing slot. He was supposed to get the first mini review and unboxing, but they got that. But there is a short unboxing wheelie out now, and he is getting the first official review. I'm not counting all my other ones because those were TikToks turned into YouTube videos. So he's getting the first official YouTube video. Yeah. So the Constructicons, they're a lot denser and more structurally sound than Wheelie, but also their commanders and Voyagers, he's a core class, and I will say he's a lot more fun than these two. I think Long Haul is my favorite of the Constructicons so far, and his transformation's more fun, but I enjoyed messing with Wheelie more than transforming these two, especially Hook. Hook's transformation annoys me sometimes, to be honest. I like the figure, but the transformation's just frustrating, but I'll get more on that in their review. Here he is with 86 Optimus. Here he is next to the Siege Mirage, for no reason other than I felt like Mirage needed some love. I really like this figure, but he's a little loosey guy, but, you know, oh, and he's... that'll work fine. But yeah, I don't know. I just feel like Mirage needs some love. Here he is next to some of his fellow 86 movie friends. Don't mind how they're all kind of posed. This is how they are on the shelf, and that light piping on Magnus looks amazing. But yeah, so here he is next to some of them. And last but not least, probably the 2 most important comparisons I have, the only 2 Dinobots I have, we got Grimlock and Swoop. Swoop is my favorite Dinobot, but this is my favorite Dinobot figure. And these 2 are probably the more important ones, but, you know, we're going to see how compatible they are compared to how much the one that Grimlock came with is. Now, for Grimlock, this wheelie had a peg in his thigh, to where you could sit him on his shoulder. We're going to see if this one can do that. He does not have a peg that goes on his shoulder, but I still think you can balance it pretty well. And there you go, with a little bit of finagling from both the figures, you can get him on there. He doesn't look as natural as the one Grimlock came with, I'll give him that, but you can pose him just to be sitting there. He doesn't have to be always battle ready. He's just chilling. Alright, I got him in his dino mode now because, again, for this one, he had the little holes on the side of his legs, and Grimlock has pegs for said holes, because action figures, that's how that works. We're going to see if we can get New Wheelie to do the same thing, and we're going to see if we can make it look natural. And we got it. I wouldn't say it looks natural per se, like this one. That's the thing, I'll give this one over that one. But you can do it. It works. That works a little better if you use the kind of hollow cavity in Grimlock's back. I don't know. You can make it work. You can get some cool action poses out of it, I think. But I'm not that great at posing figures. And there he goes with his little friends. All right, y'all. Maybe if I move the RC a little bit, I don't know. No, I don't know. That works. Anyway, I like watching forward. I don't know, I'm indecisive, guys. Anyway, cool. That works great. So thank y'all for watching. I hope you enjoyed my first actual YouTube video that's made for YouTube. We got these guys up next, not him. He'll be in it, but it's not about him. I don't know if I'm going to do them all individually or if I'm going to do these 2 together and him by himself. I think I'm going to do what I did with the shorts where... Actually, no. I think I'm going to give them both their own reviews, and then he gets his own. I think that's what I'm going to do. Anyway, thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Bye-bye.